The Cdbg Cv method of distribution has remained largely unchanged from when it was first presented in early 2021. Public comment on the method of distribution did not request or require wholesale changes to what was proposed. Summary of our method includes the background, which indicates the CARES Act provided $5 billion in Cdbg funds to be available to communities across the United States to prevent, prepare for, and respond to COVID-19. Of that $5 billion, Missouri had been allocated approximately $43 million. $25 million of that 43 is restricted to units of general local government in non-entitlement areas, while just under $18 million is available for entitlement communities across Missouri. In each case, this includes incorporated cities, villages, counties, and towns. Please reference page 21 on application guidelines for eligible applicants. Cdbg Cv funds have generally the same requirements and national objective goals as normal Cdbg funds. In addition to these restrictions and regulations, there must also be a direct tie to the prevention, preparation for, and response to COVID-19. The tie back to COVID-19 is a critical element in utilizing Cdbg Cv funds. It must include prevention, an activity that is designed to prevent initial or further spread of coronavirus, or preparation, an activity carried out by a recipient or subrecipient prior or during a coronavirus outbreak in the jurisdiction as a plan to keep people healthy and reduce the risk of exposure to coronavirus and avoid or slow the spread of the disease. Or response, an activity that is carried out once a coronavirus has spread to people. HUD has published a tie-back quick guide on the HUD Exchange to help local applicants identify their tie-back. Once again, prevent, prepare for, or respond. Each of these, either one may be used. You do not need to use all three. Potential uses for Cdbg Cv. These funds may be utilized for infrastructure, special economic development activities, public service, as well as planning, including capacity building and technical assistance. The design principles around the method of distribution really is predicated on two items, which is to target unmet need and ensure equitable access for communities with unmet needs. To allow for maximum flexibilities and to accommodate multiple areas of need, the funds are allocated by category currently as follows. Approximately $13 million of overall funds for infrastructure or public facilities, about 30% for economic development, $13 million or 30% for public services, approximately $3 million for planning, and finally around $1.3 for administration. Eligible and ineligible activities have been identified within the application guidelines. Please note these on pages 23 and 24. Activities will be used to determine your maximum funding amount. Communities must use their available stimulus resources before utilizing Cdbg Cv funding. A review of alternative funding sources will be conducted by reviewers to ensure that Cv funds are not used before other available stimulus funding has been exhausted. This is critical to the unmet need. Finally, the funds are identified as priority activities and non-priority activities. The priority activities that will receive additional funding relative to non-priorities are identified on pages 17 through 20 of the application guidelines. Non-priority activities is on page 20 of application guidelines.